Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Oh, dude. Oh.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Okay. Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
Yeah.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gills, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
You sure? It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee?
I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it.
Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Oh, good morning, everyone. Good to see you. We've got Stray here. Toadstool Hollow is here. Let's see, Tomocrat is here. This is a highly requested morning grind, because today we are going to be looking at the Pathfinder box set, the beginner set. You requested it, so I got it. So Fridays is typically, I'm just trying to get on some kind of pattern, typically an unboxing day. So I thought that, well, hey, let's do unboxing of Starfinder today. So hello, everybody. So that's here. We're going to be opening that up here in just 1 second. Let's see. We had a question yesterday from Millmaster about being able to give subscriptions to the channel as gifts. And so I did go in and I looked at stuff about gifting, and it might very well have been the case that I needed to turn something on. So I found a link. Oh, hey, James. James Bacon is here. So it may be that I needed to turn on a switch again. Maybe there's something else, of course, that I didn't have set. Didn't have the switch flipped for. it also said, and I'm not sure how different this is, or what this looks like on different platforms, or excuse me, like whether or not this information is also completely accurate, because it seems like they rolled out memberships and gifting and things like that in different stages. So according to the last information that I found, you have to be on a in order to gift memberships. And so if you're trying to do that, but you're on a mobile, it might not be set up yet. I mean, I guess that's coming. But according to the last information that I personally saw, it looked like gifting was only available on a desktop. So if you're on a desktop, you don't actually have to do it. If you're on a desktop and you hit the join button, or if you click around, do you ever see an option to gift something? So we'll just see if you will try that out and just see if that option is there. And then that way, if you want to use it later and wants to use it later, at least we know that it is set up. And then actually, it turns out I was also reading, like, how do you know if you get a gift? So it didn't seem like you had to click something to do it. But when somebody gifts a membership, apparently it goes to people who do not have memberships and have been most engaged with the channel. So I didn't know that. I learned that too. So if you've been somebody who watches the channel a lot, comments a lot, whatever, likes, I guess, all of that, however it judges all of your engagement and activity, then what it does is once someone buys a membership gift, then it assigns them to the people, I guess, who are present, who are most engaged with the channel. I don't know. So I think we might have that working, but if somebody wants to clarify that at least the option is there, that would be great. Hello, Michael of St. Joseph. Good morning. Good morning. Sable Phoenix is here as well. Good morning. Good morning. Mark says, yeah, that's fantastic. Good to know as a lurker. Yeah, I suppose that's their way of encouraging people to actually engage in some way. So good to Mark. Of course, like hitting the like button, subscribing, comment, things like that, I think does help the algorithm in general for picking that up. But that's the last I read. Or if you want to know how that works on other channels, that's what I read. So also, another topic right over here is that I put in fact, we should put a link to the Discord server. Actually, Stray has probably got it handy. But seeing skips in the stream, let me see. I don't think I see anything strange on my side. But a place in the Ravenkeep Discord server that to talk about AI. There was some very interesting AI conversations. I was trying to get caught up on everything in the Ravenkeep Discord server today, this morning, and I saw people having conversations about AI. Thank you, Stray. You got to it before I did. You got to it. Was having conversations about AI, and I thought that was really interesting. I've been trying to work with that, but I put a place specifically to talk about that because I do think that we should probably have an entire episode on that, like going into that in detail. Because somebody, and I believe they removed the comment, but somebody did post when I was looking at using the AI generated art or experimenting with that for Ribavania on a stream on Wednesday. Somebody said, you're slapping me in the face because I'm an illustrator. And yeah, you're basically slapping me in the face because the AI has stolen my art from me. And I just want to know if that is, how true is that? Right. And I was looking at the different kind of training models and things like that. So that's a topic that I think that we should address. All right, let's go over. I'll go over to the morning messages, and then I will see if there's anything I can do on my side to see about skipping. I'm not sure, but let's go to the messages, and then we will get started. The Morning Grind is brought by World Anvil. For all the writers out there, World Anvil has all the tools to help you write, organize, present, and publish rich settings with complex characters. Write, world build, and manage your story all in a single platform. Use the code MORNINGGRIND to get 40% off yearly subscriptions. The Morning Grind is also brought to you by the Cool Name RPG. Anyone will be able to use the system for any project they can imagine, and they can do so irrevocably, perpetually, and without paying a dime to anyone, ever. Support its development now on Kickstarter. And thank you for being here with me live on the Morning Grind. And if you're watching on replay, welcome to you as well. It's great to have you here. If you're enjoying the Morning Grind, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It will really help the channel grow, and I would be very thankful. We also have the Ravenkeep Discord server you can join if you would like to be a part of the community. Alright, that's what you need to know. Let's get to the main topic. Okay, I did reduce the resolution of my camera. Do you think that that might help with the skipping? Am I trying to send maybe... It doesn't say that I have a weak combination. Good morning, JDN, JDM. Good morning. Mark says, found this channel during the OGL fiasco. Loved how you approach it all. Thank you very much. I think a lot of people had that. Yeah, it's Toadstool Hollow says AI art can't be copyrighted. Although I think that's... I don't understand why that would be the case. I guess that's from my having watched Star Trek The Next Generation. So if Commander Data is sitting there and he's got his paintings and he wants to argue that he can hold the copyright to his paintings, I think Jean-Luc Picard would be the one arguing on his side that, yes, Commander Data can, in fact, hold copyright to his paintings. I think I would be on that side, too. But it seems like a lot of people out there do say something like AI art cannot be copyrighted, which I think is something that probably has to be changed, right? Because I would certainly want Commander Data to hold the copyright to his art. And I think a lot of people will eventually, too. By the time you've got an AI that, you know, is as conscious and, you know, or at least appears to be, we don't know exactly what consciousness is, but as soon as you have an AI who appears to be as conscious as anything else, I mean, I think it'll end up holding the copyright to its art. Good morning, Pan Smith. Sable Phoenix says the AI hasn't stolen its art. Any artist could copy the style of another, but it may steal the jobs. I'm frankly worried more about an infinite recycle bin than the AI response. Yeah, see, I think this is a topic that we need to talk about completely on the channel, because I think there's probably a lot of great stuff that people have to say on this subject. Because we've got a good crew to talk about things. Because I don't think, well, there's no point in getting into it at the moment. But the skipping is still bad, Sable Phoenix says. Oh, now I actually see the internet connection is even better. Do you want me to come out and see what's back? See what's... No, Zero the Blade, you're not too late. I'll leave and come back in. Let me see if I can come back in and just see if that fixes it. Oh, no skipping. Okay. Well, maybe I just saw the internet connection did increase a little bit, so maybe that was the problem then. Okay, well, let's go with that. If it's terrible, I will try something else, but I'm not sure what else to do other than going out and coming back in. Yes, the episode, The Measure of a Man. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I'm like, well, now wait, Jean-Luc Picard would argue that Data could definitely copyright his work. Okay. So here is Starfinder. So I got the Starfinder box here. Like I said, this one was one that was specifically requested. And so I thought this would be a good one. And I don't know anything about Starfinder. I didn't know hardly anything about Pathfinder, but I know even less about Starfinder. Though people were saying that it's in the same universe as Pathfinder. And I don't think that this has been upgraded to like a second edition. I think there's only one edition of Pathfinder. Oh, hey, Millmaster. Hey, Millmaster, if you go back to the beginning of this, we did talk about gifting the memberships and the information that I found out about it, because it was Millmaster who was specifically asking about that yesterday. So at the beginning, I talked about what I found out. I think I enabled it. There may have been something that I had to swap, and I think I did enable it. So let me know. But I think you do have to be on a desktop, it said, in order to gift memberships. So I think. All right. So let's see what's up with Pathfinder. So I think this one is very similar to third edition. It says, explore the galaxy, launch into an exciting universe of science fantasy adventure. Science fantasy adventure, it specifically says. Okay. Because it said this was in the same universe as the other one. as general Pathfinder, except for set in the future of that universe, which I think is an interesting way to go about it. But this does specifically say science fantasy adventure with the Starfinder beginner box. Create and customize your own futuristic hero to play through the challenging adventures and action-packed battles against dangerous foes. With streamlined rules, this deluxe box set is the ideal introduction to the Starfinder role-playing game, an imaginative tabletop role-playing game for 2 to 7 players. Welcome to the best launchpad for lifetime pulse-pounding adventure among the stars, and the only limit is your imagination. The Starfinder beginner box is everything you need to get started. And as we said, we really like the way that Paizo makes its box sets. We think they're really high-quality box sets. I do want to make a video. I actually saw that somebody else had posted some type of comparison, but I want to make a comparison between the Dungeons & Dragons box set and what they're putting out as far as Paizo is putting out. So the Starfinder box set has everything needed to get started, including a 96-page Hero's Handbook detailing character creation and general rules for playing the game, plus a short solo adventure, a 96-page Game Master's Guide containing an adventure, alien adversaries, and advice on how to create your own science fantasy tales, a complete set of polyhedral dice, more than 80 full-color pawns depicting the diverse heroes and aliens, 24 plastic pawn bases, 6 pre-generated character sheets to throw you right into the action, and I love having pre-generated characters. 6 blank character sheets to record the abilities of your custom-made hero. 6 player aid cards for quick rules reference, and a durable, reusable, double-sided flip mat play surface that works for any type of marker. All right, let's open it up. So, okay, that's also interesting that their Voyager episode was an actual copyright case. That's interesting. Yeah, and Tomocrat is confirming this is still in the equivalent of what first edition was. First edition Pathfinder was. I think Eric Mona was talking about that with regard on the Roll for Combat channel. And it didn't seem like he knew what the plan was, because I just think there wasn't one, like what was regarding this, regarding what the status of the Starfinder rules was going to be, and it didn't seem like they had plans currently to upgrade it. But we'll see. I'd like to talk to him. I'd like to talk to Eric Mona. Okay, so we've got basic polyhedral dice. And then these are our stand-ups. What is this? Munchkin cards? It says, congratulations, you're the proud owner of promo cards for Munchkin Starfinder and Munchkin Pathfinder. I didn't even know that existed. I'm not really big into Munchkin. I think I played it. In fact, I know I played it, but it's been a long time ago. Okay, so Munchkin promo cards. I didn't know that existed. Once again, all right, I love the way this is packaged, because we get like an explanation right at the very top. Before you go any further, read this page to help you get started with the Starfinder beginner box. What is Starfinder? Starfinder is a cooperative tabletop storytelling game, also known as a role-playing game or RPG, of science fantasy adventure. Look at this goblin with the gun or whatever it is here. Hayes McGee actually says, when we have the AI discussion is had, I'll have my wife join me. We're both professional artists, and the long-term ramifications of AI might have an impact on our current profession, voice acting. I think it's certainly going to have an impact on voice acting. I was looking at that kind of stuff the other day as well. So also in the time of Starfinder Galarian, the world setting of Pathfinder has vanished from its place in space. Pathfinder races are in the Starfinder universe, but the world is missing. Hey, Dan, welcome. New also found you by looking for the Hero Quest content. I think a lot of people found by Hero Quest as well. So good to have you. Good to have you. JDN GDM says, imagine if D&D had such comprehensive products with literally everything you needed to play. This is just a better product, if not a D&D playing 5e. Yeah, I agree. I thought that the Dungeons & Dragons Essential box was better. It was better, I thought, than the other one. But And I thought that maybe they had made that in response to the fact that Paizo just made better box sets than they made. But then again, with that Dragon release, they kind of went back to their old standard of pretty thin box. If you have a group, every group needs a game master. Select one of the players to be the game master. The rest of the players will play futuristic science fantasy heroes. So if you want to be a hero and start playing right now, grab one of the pre-generated character sheets and one of the pawns that match the character. If you want to be a hero, but you want to make your own character, grab the player's handbook and a blank character sheet, turn to page 13 of the hero's handbook, which will guide you through the process. And if you want to be the game master, turn to page 2 in the game master's guide and read up on the first adventure that the heroes will face, Steel Talon's Lair. So if you're on your own, Starfinder is designed for group play, but you can still experience an adventure on your own. Grab the hero's handbook and turn to page 2 for the solo adventure, Scoundrels in the Spike, and we'll teach you the basics of the game. So inside, we got probably what was basically on the back of the box. Okay. Where do I put all this? Once again, I got stuff all over the office. All right. James Bacon says the depth and breadth of the character species in Starfinder is staggering. I think it's up to over 200 options right now. Chase Street, talking to Eric is a lot of fun. If you can get the poor guy to slow down and take a breath, he's really excited when it comes to RPGs. Yes, he is. He did seem that way. I have actually had lunch with Eric Mona. Now, he won't remember. He won't remember that. But I did actually have lunch with him one time. That's what I was hoping they would do. Just increase things on their side, but they didn't do that. Okay, so these are, I love the idea here with these quick reference sheets. So what can I do on my turn? Each turn, you can take exactly one action, and you can move before or after you take that action. Move, optional. See Player's Handbook 77. I also love the reference to the place in the rules. Take an action, mandatory. Hero's Handbook 78. Attack actions. Melee attack, ranged attack, hinder foe, or support fire. Use an item, use a skill, use a special ability, cast a spell, extra move, or defend. Basic roll is D20 plus modifiers. Nothing new there. Resting with 10 uninterrupted minutes of rest. Let me move my camera this way. Yeah, there. With 10 interrupted minutes of rest, you can spend one resolve point. Okay, we'll have to figure out what those are. One resolve point to regain points equal to half your hit points rounded down. With a full night's rest, 8 hours of sleep or more, you regain hit points equal to half your total hit points rounded down, all of your resolve points, and all of your daily use spells and abilities. So we do have spells. I guess that's why we're in science fantasy right here. Piccadilly says Starfinder is still pretty new, not as new as Pathfinder 2e, but it still has at least 5 years, I think, until we can expect a new edition. Good to see you, Piccadilly. Well, yes. In a way, you could say 5th edition was Hasbro's response to the competition. That's true, but I was thinking about more direct as far as responding to those boxes. Conditions. Okay, flat-footed, you take a -2 penalty to armor class. Frightened, you can't take any actions, and you must use your move to flee from the source of your fear as best as you can. You also have the hampered condition. Okay, hampered is you take -2 penalty to attack rolls, saving throws, skill checks, and ability checks. Helpless, you can't move or take actions, and if you take a -8 and you take a -8 penalty to your armor class, that's helpless. No movement, no actions, -8 penalty to armor class. Impaired, you take a -4 penalty to attack rolls, saving throws, skill checks, and ability checks. Off kilter, you have the flat-footed condition and take a -2 penalty to attack rolls. You can give up your move on your turn to right yourself and lose this condition. So I guess this goblin is kind of off kilter here. Staggered, you can either move or take an action on your turn, but you can't do both. Unconscious, you're knocked out and you have the helpless condition. You can't move, take actions, or think, but you can spend one resolve point to regain 1 hit point and regain consciousness. If you regain hit points from any source while unconscious, you wake up and lose the unconscious condition. All right, so there are our quick reference sheets. I like those, especially when learning. So character sheets. These are blank character sheets, plenty of blank character sheets. Ability modifiers. So we are still working with strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. We've got racial traits here. Features, feats, skills, athletics, culture, interaction, medicine, mysticism, perception, science, stealth, survival, technology. Basic character information, initiative and speed, defense, hit points, resolve points. So resolve points are the thing that I've seen that's particularly new. Saving throws, fortitude, reflex, and will, melee and ranged attack, weapon, grenade, well, space for a grenade. Weapon proficiency seem to include basic melee, advanced melee, small arms, long arms, and grenades. Equipments and spell on the back. Equipment, spells, character portrait, description, adventure log. All right, well, that seems pretty standard. So maybe if we're familiar with 3 and 3.5, this will be easy to learn. That was the way core classes are built. They fit every theme, so they fit well into a Mass Effect theme. Chase says, I love it when a game gives you a solo adventure to try out. Me too. All the options is my only beef with Paizo. Way too crunchy for me, but so want to play it too. Sable Phoenix says, setting up restrictions is just as important as options to making a good game. It's much better to give players a set of limited choices that require hard decisions than limitless choices. Analysis paralysis is real. I agree. But, that could also be the game master. Here's all the things you could have in your game. Now, what are those? But not all. It's not necessarily a good idea to have them all in your game. So, the game master cuts down the choices and then says, hey, these are the ones that can be in the game. But that's more work for the game master. So Hero's Handbook, I'm going to set that aside and we'll take a look at that in a moment. So we got the Hero's Handbook in here. And then the next thing is our pre-made characters. Let's take a look at that. James says, I hope this box has a Solarian starter character. Solarians are an incredibly interesting class. Well, let's find out. So we've got Envoy. Says that's a class. That's an interesting class. Envoy, Mystic, Operative, Mechanic, Soldier, and Technomancer. So actually, we've got quite a few of these in here. Envoy, Mystic, Operative, Mechanic. So that's more than the other boxes provide. Let's take a look at these. I guess we are going to have different classes here. So choose the Envoy if you'd like to be a charismatic people person, make friends and intimidate foes, inspire your allies, undermine your enemies. Mystic. Choose Mystic if you'd like to help and heal your friends, sling psychic bolts and telekinetic projectiles, use and detect magic, communicate telepathically. I do like that. Operative. Choose the Operative if you'd like to use a stealthy approach, trick your foes to deal more damage, excel at a variety of skills, be both a person and a machine. Operatives are both people and machine. Mechanic. Looks like a mouse person here. Or a rat. Mechanic. Choose the Mechanic if you'd like to build and modify machinery, have the right tool for any job, have a cybernetic processor implanted into your brain, hide objects in your cheeky pouches. Soldier. Choose the Soldier if you'd like to be the strongest and the toughest. We got like a dinosaur guy here as the Soldier. Use the biggest weapons, wear the armor, excel in melee and ranged combat. Technomancer. Choose the Technomancer if you'd like to blend magic and technology, wield magic to blast your enemies, use technology to power your magic, read minds, and communicate telepathically. I think that does sound kind of cool. Millmaster says, the older I get, the more I stray from heavy rules, granular character options, and slow combat, and the more towards narrative rules light games. I've been drifting in that direction as well. I still appreciate both. It's kind of nice to pass around a card rather than an open book. The word helpless, Chase says, opens you up to being the victim or the target of a coup de grace action. Starfinder, a Norcall bow hunter. Welcome, Norcall. Good to see you. Starfinder says that Starfinder was my gateway drug into Paizo. Chase says, I'm the opposite. I really dislike not having enough options to make characters feel different. That might not have been necessarily the point. But like in Star Trek Adventures, which we might have to check out here, the game is great, but the characters are not that different. You're running a Tallest campaign? I don't know what that is. Right now, and really like to, there are a limited number of player races. So no Solar. So don't know what that one is. So Android is a race and ancestor in this. So Chase says, I kind of understand not having a Solarian in the beginner box. Solarians are about building up their power to release it. Getting new players to wait can be tricky, just my take. Okay. All right. So what do we have here that's different? Now, some people say the third edition is different. But let's see. We've got the difference right here we have is racial traits. So I'm in the Technomancer right here at the moment. So racial traits, pages 20 and 23, but it says racial traits as a Lashanta. Take this down. As a Lashanta, you have 3 racial traits. Lashanta magic. You can cast the Daze and psychokinetic hand spells as many times per day as you would like. You can also cast the Detect Thoughts spell once per day. This uses the Cast a Spell action, which is explained in more detail on page 82. Yeah, so I thought they were kind of on the front, blending your race and your class. So this one says that the race here is Lashanta, and the class is Technomancer. So these are the racial traits of the Lashanta. Limited telepathy. You can mentally communicate with creatures within 30 feet. Conversing telepathically with multiple creatures at once is just as difficult as talking with multiple people at once. Student. You love to learn, but so you picked up knowledge unavailable to others. You gain a +2 bonus to science and technology skill checks. So as a Technomancer, though, I might want to look at several of these. Because unlike when we were looking at Pathfinder 2nd edition, which I kind of we all understood what a fighter and a cleric was. I really don't understand any of these. Technomancer class features. Once per day, you can cast a spell you know without using a spell slot. That's energize spell, and you have the cast a spell action. So feet is fleet. While you're wearing no armor or light armor, your movement increases by 10 feet. Skills, equipment. So what kind of spells do we got? Well, we got magic missile here. Spells. You can cast spells using the cast a spell action on page 82. You know 2 first level spells. 3 times per day, you can cast any one of them. First level spells used today. Magic missile. You fire 2 missiles of magical energy at up to 2 creatures within 100 feet. Each missile deals 1d4 plus 1 force damage. If you give your move up on this turn you cast it, you can fire 3 missiles instead. Oh, interesting. So it's a little bit different. So we still have magic missile, but it's a little bit different. Supercharged weapon. You supercharge a weapon that you can touch, even if they're allies, if they're adjacent to you. Even an allies if they're adjacent to you. If the weapon's next attack hits, provided it is made before the end of the next round, the attack deals 4d6 additional damage. 2d6 if the weapon deals damage to multiple creatures. This bonus damage is the same type of damage as the weapon's normal damage type. You also know 0 level spells, which you can cast as many times per day as you like. Dancing Lights, detect magic, energy ray, which you can shoot a ray of acid, cold, electricity, or fire 25 feet. You make a ranged attack roll and deal 1d4 damage, and also telepathic message. You can send a short telepathic message to a creature within 100 feet. Creatures that receive the message can reply telepathically, but no more than one message may be sent each round, and each message cannot exceed 10 words. The spell does not affect creatures with the unliving defense ability. So that's what it means to be a technomancer. A soldier, I'm guessing that's like fighter. We do have racial traits. You are a Vesk. As a Vesk, you have 4 racial traits. Armor Savant. Your tough, scaly hide makes you harder to hit. You gain a +1 bonus to your armor class, which is already incorporated into your character sheet. Dark Vision. You can see up to 60 feet in darkness, although this vision is black and white only. Fearless. You're extremely difficult to scare. You gain a +2 bonus to saving throws against spells and effects that would cause you to gain the frightened condition. And then natural weapons. You can make powerful unarmed attacks. Your unarmed strikes deal 1d4 kinetic damage instead of just 1 point of damage. Soldier class features. Let's look at that. Then I'll go back to the chat. As a first level soldier, you have the melee fighting style that gives you the rapid response style technique. This increases your speed and gives you a +4 bonus to initiative checks. So here we have soldiers being better at acting first in combat, both of which are already incorporated into your character sheet. So this person has a Dashko fusion weapon and a laser rifle, and also shot grenades. Jodavin says, hello, I have an idea about hit points. Use several wound boxes. Heavy, -3, -3, light, -1, and class HP. Each box equals class HP. Damage overflow. That kind of sounds like similar to Fate stress boxes, or maybe a modification of them. Good morning, Innerlight. Oh, Talus is a Monty Cook game. Well, I don't think so. Let's look over here, because it just kind of seemed like they blended race and class together on the front of these. Because look at that, we do have like a mouse guy. But if you create your own character, creating a character classes and races are separate. So 18. Class suggestions. And here are races. So we got envoy, mechanic, mystic, soldier, technomancer, and operative. So more classes than is available in the 4th edition. In the 2nd edition Pathfinder starter box. And also more races. So choose a race. We've got android as a race, human as a race, Lashunta, Shirin, Yoski. So lots of options even here. And then we get into envoys. And I guess more stuff about the classes. So it looks like if you're making yours, then they are separate. I guess since this is supposed to be like the mouse mechanic, they just kind of blended what this character is right here. Although you would, if they had put like play the, what is this guy? This is the Isaki. Play the Isaki mechanic if you'd like to, because that's like hiding objects in your cheek pouches. I guess that's a racial thing. So cheek pouches, yes. As a Isaki, you have 4 racial traits. Cheek pouches. You can store a surprising amount of material in your cheek pouches. They serve as the equivalent of a backpack. Okay, cool. Dark vision. You can see up to 60 feet in darkness, though this vision is black and white only. Moxie. You can ignore the effects that cause harm. You can ignore effects that cause you to lose your move. If you choose to give up your move for any reason, you still don't get your move. The staggered condition still affects you normally. And then also Scrounger. You get a +2 bonus to stealth, survival, and technology skill checks. We got class features here. As a first level mechanic, you have access to 3 class features. Combat tracking. You can give up your move on your turn to track an enemy, giving you +1 bonus to attack rolls against the enemy. You can track only one enemy at a time. Bypass. You can gain +1 bonus to technology skill checks that's already incorporated into your technology skill. Custom rig. You have a customized tool kit you can use when attempting technology skill checks. This counts as a toolkit. Sable Phoenix, if you're an operative, you're automatically a cyborg. If you're a mechanic, you're a space chipmunk. I think this is just for the purposes of the starter characters. I don't think that's something that's permanent in the game world. I think just for the purposes of the starter characters. Jason had this a long time ago. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think this is just for the pre-gens right here. Norcall says, I enjoy both crunchy systems and narrative systems. Running games in Pathfinder 2nd Edition is a lot of fun to hang with people, and playing a powered by the apocalypse games lets me focus on the stories. So, Starjammer, I don't know. I want to look at the original Spelljammer book. I've never been spelljamming. And I've heard that the new Spelljammer book isn't all that great, but it seems like I need to get a hold of the original Spelljammer book and take a look. Technomancers are wizards and specialized in affecting or taking advantage of science and tech. Yeah, it seems like an interesting game world. Tomocrats, I think they're using something like backgrounds that adds more themes to them. So a soldier can have a cleric-like background and be a zealot for a religious order. Vesk are like the Transidonians or Gorn, very expansionist, very violent, but unlike the aforementioned species, highly honorable. They make excellent soldiers. Spells here, I think this is talking about the alternative system that was recommended earlier. Also add system strain from worlds without numbers. You can heal all wounds. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I mean, a whole backpack worth of stuff, too. That's great. Stray says, I hide grenades in my cheek pouches. It was clever until the DM made us put on a spacesuit. Okay, let's see. Okay, so operative. I'm kind of interested because I think this is a good way to figure out what these are. So this is an android. So if you're an operative here on the pre-gen character, you are an android, which means, 1, you're a constructed. You count as both a person and a machine. You don't need to breathe, and you don't take any damage from being in a vacuum. Dark vision, you can see up to 60 feet in darkness, though this is black and white only. Flat effect, you find emotions confusing, including your own. You take a -2 penalty to an interaction skill checks, and others take a -2 penalty interaction checks involving you. And also upgrade slot. You have leapers, which are armor upgrades normally installed on armor, installed directly on your body. If you get a different armor upgrade, you can swap out your leapers for the new upgrade, or install the new upgrade in your armor and have both. Okay. Operative class features. At first level operative, you gain the following 3 class features. Specialization, Ghost. You gain a +3 bonus to athletics and skill checks, which have already been incorporated into the character sheet. Edge, you have diverse training, giving you a +1 bonus to initiative checks and most skill checks. Trick attack. When you take the melee attack or ranged attack with a basic melee weapon or small arm, you can first attempt a stealth skill check with a DC of 20. If you succeed, you gain a +2 bonus on your attack roll. If your attack hits and you deal damage, you also roll 1d4 and add the result to the damage. Even if you fail the stealth check, you can still attack. A stealth check, you can still attack. You just don't get bonuses. I do think the Mystic looks cool. And it might be also because I play a lot of clerics. Was this available as a Humble Bundle? It probably was. It wasn't part of the 2nd edition one that I got. Let's see, Mystic. But it probably was out there. I might remember that, but I didn't get it. Choose the Mystic if you'd like to help and heal your friends. Okay, so now, what have we got? This is, the race over here is the Shirin. So Shirin racial traits. As a Shirin, you have 4 racial traits. Blind sense. You have the blind fight feat as a bonus feat. Communalism. Once per day, before you make an attack roll or skill check, you can decide to roll twice and take the better of the 2 results. You can only do this if you are within 10 feet of an ally. Cultural fascination. You gain +2 bonuses to culture and interaction skill checks. These bonuses are already incorporated into these skills. Limited telepathy. You can mentally communicate with creatures within 30 feet. Conversing telepathically with multiple creatures at once is just as difficult as talking with multiple people at once. I think we've had a couple of different things talk about telepathy so far, right? Chase says trick attack is where it's at. As you get higher in level, you can make targets flat-footed against your companion's attacks. So, Mystic class features over here. So as a first-level Mystic, you have access to 2 class features. Healing Touch. Once per day, you can spend 10 minutes to magically restore 5 hit points per level to yourself or an ally. Connection Healer. You gain the Healing Channel connection power. Don't know what that is. Healing Channel. 3 times per day, restore 2d8 hit points to yourself and each ally within 30 feet. That sounds useful. Let's figure out what the spells are. You can cast magic spells using the cast a spell action. You know 3 first-level spells. Remove lesser remove condition. You remove either the hampered condition or the staggered condition from yourself or an ally you touch. Mind Thrust. You deal 2d10 damage to an enemy within 25 feet. The target attempts a will save, DC 15, to take half damage. The spell doesn't affect creatures with unliving defensive ability. Mystic Cure. An ally you touch gains 1d8 plus 4 hit points. The target regains all of its HP. If the target regains all of the HP, you can use the remaining to heal yourself. If this isn't enough to restore the target's HP, you can transfer any number of your own HP to the target. So the spells are a little bit different here. Definitely focused on healing. Detect Magic. You detect magical effects and items that you can see within 60 feet. Ghost Sound. You create a volume of sound within 20 feet that can produce as much noise as 20 normal humans. They can't make specific sounds, such as intelligent speech or the exact hum of a particular starship's engines. Telekinetic Projectile. You make a ranged attack against any enemy within 25 feet. If you hit, deal 1d6 kinetic damage. Telepathic Message. Oh, we get back to telepathy again as well. You can send a short telepathic message to a creature within 100 feet, and they can write back. Or send back or whatever, like the other spell was. What is Envoy? Is this Envoy or human? Yep, human. Okay, so what do you get for being human? Human racial traits. As a human, you get an extra feat and an extra trained skill. These are already incorporated into your character sheet. Envoy class features. As a first level envoy, you have access to 2 class features. Get them. Once per turn in combat, you can choose an enemy within 60 feet. You and your allies gain +1 bonus for your attack rolls to hit that enemy until the start of your next turn. And then also Expertise. When you attempt an interaction skill check, you can also roll a d6 and add that result to your total. So those are our starting characters. Lots of variety. Lots. I mean, what is that? 6 or 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you got 6 different options with the pre-generated characters. I like that. So Hero's Handbook over there. Oh, hey, Positive Fandom. It's our room. I was watching her play video games last night and this morning. Hey, Trick, great to see you. So we've got the Game Master's Guide right here as well. here is our double. Again, this is one of those thick double-sided cards that's gloss, so it probably take dry and wet erase markers. I don't have enough room, I don't think, to open this all the way up. But kind of like the original Pathfinder box set, we've got just a grid on one side. And then over here on this side, it does look like we've got kind of a science fiction, science fantasy themed layout of some kind. I guess this goes with the adventure box. So you got both of those. And then looks like the last thing in here are our stand-up pawns. So we've got things like living hologram. Oh, look, Migo. Migo is in here. Got a bit of a Lovecraftian influence. That's cool. Ruthig. Some of these I don't even know how to pronounce. Security guard, security robot, Sharpwing, Skittermander, Space Goblin Honcho Head, Space Goblin Zapprator, Space Goblin Zapprator, Space Pirate, Robot Dragon, Cybernetic Zombie, Assembly Ooze. This is an interesting take for a science fantasy game instead of a like straight science fiction game. Evil Soldier, although a lot of people, put a lot of different science fiction into science fantasy anyway. Dragonkin. We've got the pawns for our player characters up here. Android, Sheeran. So it looks like different examples of our races, which I guess to use as NPCs. Pathfinder Society. All right, so that is what is inside the box. How much time we got? We come back over here to the chat. Ryan McDonald asks, any rules about the ships? Can we fly somewhere like the ships from Firefly? I would hope so. The Galaxy is on page 92 here. I don't know how much rules we've got in this basic set. We've got the Packed Worlds, Near Space, the Vast, and the Gap. Well, it says Starfinder is, at its core, a game about exploration, discovering new worlds, meeting previously unknown cultures, and expanding the borders of the known. But to truly explore, you must first know where you're coming from. While the Starfinder beginner box can be used to discover a number of science fantasy universes, this page offers a primer on the assumed setting of the game. More detailed information on Starfinder's setting can be found on page 52 to 63 of the Game Master's Guide. Let's see if there's like a category for ships in here. Game mastering. Let's see the Galaxy in here. Alien adversaries. Building an adventure. It would seem like starships would be in here. Are we space hulking now? It could be. Frank. Hey, Frank. How very synchronistic. I just picked up this beginner's box. Stray says, I've been looking for more standees. I've seen skinny minis, and I have a bunch of Arknight stuff. I got a bunch of skinny minis. I backed that Kickstarter at high level. I got more skinny mini stand-ups than I know what to do with. Oh, Chase says, the books look too small to have the full Starship combat rules, LOL. Even for a Pathfinder fan, these rules are comprehensive. So maybe the full box does. Let's go over here and take a look at our solo adventure. Scoundrels in the Spike, number 2. Scoundrels in the Spike. That means we go over if we're going to do this. I feel like we should at least see what this is like. It doesn't look like it's a long solo adventure anyway. The second edition solo adventure in Pathfinder was pretty long. Slight Quill says, I've always been curious about the similarities and differences between Starfinder and Spelljammer. Hey, good morning, Vision. Oh, you got your Pathfinder beginner box last night? Awesome. Frank says, not to take away from any of the aliens that are in this universe, but I'd like to see more fantasy types other than space goblins. Well, there might be. Somebody was saying there are 200 different options. So let's say, Scoundrels in the Spike. The following pages contain a short quest that you can play yourself. You don't need to know the rules of the game just yet. This adventure will teach you some of them. If you want to skip this quest and head straight into making a character, go to page 14. Otherwise, read on. To play, you need a scratch piece of paper. This may be the scratch sheet of paper that I used to play another solo adventure with. Yeah, it's still floating around. So scratch piece of paper, pencil, and dice. I don't have anything else handy, so we'll just use what came with Pathfinder. Starfinder, rather. All right. So it says, you are a hardy soldier from Absalon Station, a huge space station that is the undisputed hub of trade and governance among the allied planets known as the Pact Worlds. Your family hails from a place called Down Low, a working-class neighborhood in the Spike that extends below the station's radial plane. Life in the Spike is a hard scrabble. Gangs pull the strings from behind every neon-lit credit lender to seemingly reputable shops. You've always dreamed of leading a life of adventure, however, and you're a mean shot with your semi-auto pistol. You've sought out the Starfinder Society for a chance to gain employment that might take you across the star system or even beyond. From headquarters in the nearby Lorespire complex, these adventurers and scholars eagerly accept you into their ranks. Your first assignment has just pinged on your datapad from the office of the first seeker Luanza Elsbo, the society's leader. I'm seeking out the Starfinder Society. Okay, so that's actually a thing inside this universe. Oh, Chase confirms that all of the Pathfinder races are available in Starfinder in the full rulebook. Huh. So, you're from the headquarters. Okay. She wants you to venture into an abandoned maintenance corridor in the Spike, not far from your home turf, to investigate reports of prowling dangers. Station technicians need to access the corridor to conduct repairs, but they can't risk falling through broken grates or being attacked by lurking pests, and so the maintenance contractor has asked the Starfinders for help. Excitement fills you, since this is your first chance to prove yourself as a Starfinder for the Starfinder Society. Plus, if you can thwart any threats in the corridors, the Society will reward you with 250 credits, the standard unit of digital currency in the Pact Worlds. And you're cleared to keep any useful items that you find along the way. You holster your semi-auto pistol, sheathe your tactical baton, smooth your second skin armor, and head toward the coordinates of your datapad. Soon, you're outside the flickering corridors of the maintenance hall. To gather your courage and head down the halls, go to entry number two. Number two. Before you stretches an eerily empty chamber made of rusty metal. Cardboard boxes filled with smashed electronic parts line the room's walls, and from the ceiling hang clumps of wires, a few of them dripping colorful liquids. It's clear this place is in dire need of repair, and it's likely the ways forward aren't safe. You pull your flashlight from your pack and then sweep its light across the corridor. The flashlight illuminates two hallways trailing away from the main room, one headed to the north and the other leading to the east. So far, there's no sign of trouble, but it's always best to be prepared. You draw your semi-auto pistol from its holster, fix your flashlight under its barrel, and cautiously advance. North or east? I'm going to go east, number 7. If you're reading this for the first time, read on. You pick your hallway. Let's go over here before we go this. I actually played the standalone adventure for the Pathfinder box last night, too. My first romp with my character died. I think I died in that one, too, didn't I? The second romp, the character took the gold and walked away from the rest of the adventure. Terrence is stupid is here. Hi, Terrence. We should just call you Terrence. When Pathfinder came out, I was really disappointed with the capital F fantasy in the science fantasy. I wanted something closer to Star Wars D20. Okay, so number 7. You pick your way carefully across the area's uneven metal floor tiles. The lights are flickering badly. You lose count of the number of wire bundles that hang naked from the ceiling. You have a bad feeling about this place as you stop to look for threats. To uncover this room's mystery, you need to attempt a skill check. Each character in the game has several skills representing that character's training and talents. This skill check uses a skill card called Perception, which will allow you to notice things that are hidden. To attempt a skill check, roll a d20 and add your skill bonus. In this case, your Perception skill is +5. Let's see how well I do or don't do here. 14, so a total of 19. If your total is 12 or higher, go to 8. Okay. Scanning the rusty floor, you see an obvious hazard, a trapdoor covering a pit in the floor. Whether it's an intentional trap set by threats that lurk here or a mere hazard of dilapidated chamber is anyone's guess. Regardless, you easily sidestep the hazard and are faced with a hallway that stretches to the north before you. To move north through the hallway, go to 9. To move back toward the corridor's entrance, go to 2. Well, let's go to 9. There's something odd about this small closet-like chamber. Soon you realize why. A scratching noise issues from underneath a dented old comms desk in the corner. A furry purple creature with wide eyes pokes its head out from the gloom. Psst, the creature says, "You, gun-toter, come here, I can help." To approach the creature and listen, go to 16. To ignore the creature and go on, go to 21. Well, I don't want to just ignore the creature, so I'm going to go to 16. Oh, wait, not page 16. As you cautiously creep toward the purple-furred creature, it dawns on you. This must be a skittermander. Oh, that guy right there, we saw a skittermander before. This must be a skittermander, a member of a friendly and diminutive species known for their uncanny ability to get into trouble, although they consider themselves extremely helpful in all situations. You give the skittermander an encouraging smile and move closer to hear. "Hello, new friend. Goblins in this place, and maybe a man? Not safe," the creature says, in an almost comical stage whisper. "You're wrong. You'll get those stinky things. Here, this will help." The skittermander produces a hefty rifle behind its back. In its hands, the gun looks like an oversized toy, but the rifle is clearly of good make and of solid function. You recognize it immediately. This is an arc rifle. The arc rifle shoots bolts of electricity and deals 1d8 damage. If you keep it, note arc rifle 1d8 on your character sheet. Well, I will take the arc rifle. Arc rifle 1d8. On your character sheet. From now on this adventure, when you enter combat, you can use this rifle instead of other weapons to cut down your foes. Your attack bonus is the same, but the rifle deals more damage. When you look up from examining the rifle, the friendly skittermander is gone. Vaguely from down the hallway, you hear the faint echo, "Helping!" The silence returns, and it's time to move on. Hallways from this area lead straight to the south and west, and curving to the north. To move south and back toward the beginning of the adventure, go to 7. To move west, go to entry 5. To move north through the curving hallway, go 6. Hey, let's move north. 6. You slowly make your way into this wide, surprisingly tidy storage room. The outdated computer terminals here are in various states of disassembly, but they are all stacked neatly in piles that almost resemble a structure, and soon you see why. Charging out from behind the tallest stacks is a greasy man, his microcord vest jagged and torn. The man's features twist with rage as he shouts, "Not a repair crew! Get out of here before you ruin my plan!" He levels his pistol right at you. You are now in combat. Each round, you and this gang tough each other. Tough each get. Oh, this gang tough. I guess that's a thing. A gang tough. You and this gang tough each get to make one attack. You go first in each round. If this is your first combat of this adventure, go to entry 3 for more detailed explanation of combat, rounds, and tracking. So my bonus damage, so my attack bonus is +4. I got +8 because I got the rifle, or D8. My AC is 15. My hit points are 14. He gets a +3. He's doing 1d4 damage. He's got 12 AC, and he's got 10 hit points. When you make an attack, you roll d20 and add your bonus. All right, let's do that. What a cutie. Talking about the purple one? Yeah. It does. It does. Vision says, reminds me of Stitch. It totally does. All right, so I'm going to try to shoot him with my rifle. Oh, rolled a 1. Am I supposed to do anything on a 1? So go to 3. So far, it hasn't told me to do anything with a 1 yet. Okay, so I missed. So now he's got to attack. He misses me. Okay, so we're just going to blast holes in the room. So now I fight back. 5. What is this 8 armor class? It's just 10. Okay, he fights. Oh, and looks like he has hit me. So he does 1d4 damage. We're blasting each other at close range in this gunfight. So now I have, must have hit me in the arm or something. So now I have 12 hit points. Now, I shoot back with my rifle. God, nothing. Man, he's going to gun me down here. How many times have we shot back and forth? Okay, now I just hit. So I hit him for 1d8 points of damage. 3. So him over here, he's got 10. So now he's got 7. Oh, not that one. So he shoots 17 for 4 points of damage. I'm down to 8. This is one of the D4s where it's got the one that's sitting upright. My gun explodes. Wait, do I get 3 actions? No, I don't think so. No, not in here, because that's Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Pathfinder 2nd Edition is based on the 3-action economy, right? Because Pathfinder Starfinder was made before 2nd Edition, right? So each turn you take exactly, I guess I should have this out. Each turn I take exactly 1 action and can move before or after I take this action. So I can my actions are attack actions, use an item, skill. So that's my card right here. So each turn you take exactly 1 action, and then you can move before or after you have taken that action. All right, so now let me shoot him. 20. Did it tell me to do anything on a 20? Come on, big roll at least. 7 points of damage. Oh, which was enough. I did get him with the crit. Okay, so I took him out. I have defeated him. Go to 15. The gang tough was no slouch. No kidding. We blew that room to pieces. The gang tough was no slouch, but he is still no match for your deadly aim. A final bullet rips through his vest, and with a coffin glare of hatred, he falls and his eyes close. This villain was clearly no crazed space goblin, and your curiosity about him sends you rifling through his belt pouches, and immediately you find an oblong cred stick, a kind of small computer that stores digital money, and it's loaded with 50 credits. Not a bad haul. The tough was also carrying a data pad containing several text files. Scrolling through them, you learn the man's name was Grex, and that he was a low-level member of a local gang. You find messages between Grex and several other gang members detailing his plans to recruit some local pests, space goblins, you figure, to sabotage the maintenance corridor and attack any repair crews that responded, to steal their equipment and sell on the black market. The messages specify that Grex has 2 space goblin allies. You have dealt with their boss, but you haven't neutralized both space goblins. The corridor still isn't safe. You need to keep exploring. The hallways before you lead south, east, and west. Let's go east, number 9. Oh, wait. So I've already been there. Let's go to number 4. As you emerge into the maintenance corridor's next chamber, a sickly yellow glow hits your peripheral vision. In the corner, some sort of control hub stretches from the floor to the ceiling, covered in display screens and complicated control panels. The control hub is badly malfunctioning. If the jaundiced miasma hangs about it like heavy fog is any indication, the other signs the corridor systems are long overdue for repairs. As you stare at this control hub, a sinking thought dawns on you. This isn't just any electrical malfunction. The control hub must be leaking dangerous radiation that could, at worst, lay you low for an entire day. The radiation field is small, however, and beyond it you see a corridor that curves deeply into the hallway that curves deeply into the corridor, as well as a hallway that exits to the east. You could easily try to skirt the radiation and move on. Let's try to skirt it and enter the curved hallway. Did I go to a curved hallway? Okay, so let's go. Well, let's go back there. I should have been mapping this. So I go to 22 since I've been there before. No, 22. You return to the chamber with the fallen gang tough. There's nothing else to see here, so you can continue on. Oh, yeah, I'm going in circles here. Number 5. So go back to the beginning of the corridor. Let's go back there. So let's go to 3. As your eyes adjust to the illuminated gloom, you see movement in this chamber behind a particularly bulky box of broken digital signboards. From behind the box springs a nasty creature, a space goblin. Okay, so I found one of them. Short and green, with teeth like razors set into an oblong head. The goblin is holding a dented pistol held together with tacky putty and string. It cackles with glee as it levels its weapon straight at you. I am now in combat. All right. So who goes first? Oh, I go first in each round. I wonder if I can take out this goblin. All right, so +4. Oh, another 1. God, I am terrible at this. So the goblin then shoots at me with a 2. Must be this die. Oh, okay, so I shoot back with a 19. And the space goblin has 5 hit points. So I could kill the space goblin. Come on, 5 or bigger. 5 or bigger. 1. I'm not very good at this being a Starfinder thing. So the goblin has 5 hit points. Now it has 4 hit points. The goblin shoots back. 6. No, that doesn't hit me. I shoot back. Come on. 15. There we go. Another 1 point of damage. It shoots 14. That is enough to hit me. And then it does 1d4 damage. 1 point of damage to me. This is almost comical. All right, come on, hit him. 11 plus 4, that does hit him. He's got an AC of 12. D8. At least I have the D8. 3, that killed him. 0. Space Goblin is dead. Go to 11. With a final deft maneuver, your semi-auto pistol sends a bullet right into the Space Goblin's heart, or I was using the rifle there. The Goblin's cackle turns into a shocked wheeze as the creature slumps against the corridor wall, dead. Rummaging through its tattered stationware pockets, you find a small vial with a gel cap pill etched into its cap. This must be a healing serum. Any damage the Goblin dealt to you remains. Make sure you note your current hit points on the scratch sheet of paper. You can drink the healing serum at any time during this adventure to regain 8 hit points. So I do also have healing serum. You cannot exceed your maximum. You can use this serum during combat, however, you must drink it instead of making an attack. This means the monster will get to attack twice in a row. Write healing serum +8 on your scratch page. That's +8 hit points. Looking around, there's a short hallway leading deeper into the maintenance corridor. Hey, let's go to 4. Going deeper into... Oh, so, but that's when we go into the radiation room. Let's go 5 to enter the eastern hallway. I'm going to skirt the radiation and go to 5. Your senses are on high alert the moment you step into this chamber filled with the decommissioned hover chairs and dented terminal desks. A banging sound echoes from behind a rusty wall panel. Suddenly, the panel bursts open and a filthy, snarling space goblin, what was he doing in there? Space goblin rushes right at you, waving its battered baton menacingly. You are now in combat. So, the goblin is attacking me with a melee weapon, a tactical baton which is much like a fancy club. You can shoot the goblin with your semi-auto pistol like normal, or if you want to get in the goblin's face with hand-to-hand combat, you can draw your own tactical baton before you take your turn. The tactical baton does 1d4 plus 2 damage. I do have the rifle, though. However, you can attack with just one weapon each round. Does this tell me that I go first? All right. I'm going to try shooting him first with the rifle. 14, hit. Come on, let's just put him down. 7, there we go. Finally, blasted him. Go to 14. Your final attack solidly connects between the goblin's watery eyes. The creature gives one final enraged screech before it crumples to the ground dead. As soon as you catch your breath, you soon catch your breath, but a quick rummage through the goblin's stinking pockets elicits nothing. The not-so-clever creature just thought it would be an easy mark, but at whose behest is anyone's guess? Hallways exit the chamber to the north, east, and west. I have defeated both space goblins and the gang tough, and I wish to complete this adventure. Go to page 23. Or not page, entry 23. The information you learned from the gang tough, Grex's datapad, made it very clear. He had hatched a plot to attack maintenance workers with his 2 space goblin allies. But now you've thwarted these nefarious plans. Though the corridor is indeed badly in need of repairs, it's no longer a dangerous ambush site. The corner of the spike is now a little safer thanks to your heroic efforts. Swelling with pride at the thought of the dangers you've overcome, not to mention the safety you've secured for the workers, you head back the way you came. Once you're in the safety of the down low, you tap out a message to your personal comm unit to the Starfinder Society about your success, including the mention of the hazards you came across in the corridor. You include video clips you took of the second scene for good measures, of the secured scene for good measures, so the Starfinders can rest assured that you've combed through the area and encountered the dangers that lurk there. A response comes from First Seeker Luanza Elsbo. Herself comes in almost immediately. She's proud of your efforts. She mentions that the maintenance workers you've helped are ecstatic, and your heart fills with emotion at the gratitude of the First Seeker passes along on your behalf. In addition, she's already transferred her promised payment of 250 credits to your account. Even better, the First Seeker wants to arrange a meeting with you. She wants to congratulate you and offers you the chance to meet with some of the workers who are grateful for your efforts and wishes to extend personal thanks. But perhaps even more exciting is this. The First Seeker says she wants to offer you another assignment. This one might take you off of Epsilon Station, Luanza says. You can think of no better way to celebrate your victory than with another heroic adventure, this time into space. You have completed your first Pathfinder or Starfinder adventure. Nat 1, fire a hole in the side of the ship and everyone is sucked into the vacuum of space. Adventure over. Sounds like a critical miss in something like Rollmaster. Otera says you can take a penalty, a -4 penalty to both shots to do 2 in a round. Yeah, that's how they do these. Makes me want to write one, actually. So, all right. So now we have been through that. I think we need to look more at Starfinder in coming days. So we will return to this box because, we did quite a bit with Pathfinder, this Pathfinder 2nd edition. So there is more to look at in the Hero's Handbook right here, and then also in the Game Master's Guide. So I will box this up. I need to plan some more days ahead. Let me make note of that. We've got several different things that we're doing, spending several days on. Because we also need to go back to the Book of Vile Darkness. But to schedule a return to Starfinder, I've been trying to make sure that I put these out, put the live streams up ahead of time. That way people know what's coming. I think it's better that way. And that way also the page is already there so people can chat, even if they get here before I do. All right. Anything else going on? All right. So now speaking of actually needing to create a stream. So tonight I do want to do some painting. So tonight we will do a Crafter's Corner at 7:30 p.m. Central. In fact, what I might do is go immediately and get that set up so people know where the Crafter's Corner is. I'm not sure what the conversation topic will be. I've got to look that up. We'll go to whatever the next table talk was and do it. So that's coming up. So tomorrow we're looking at Cities and Towns from Kobold Press. That just came out. They sent me a PDF of that. Very kind of them. So we will look at that tomorrow. But then tonight, I got to paint Advanced Hero Quest miniature, Hero Quest and Advanced Hero Quest miniatures. So I look forward to seeing everybody. Go be productive and grind on.